Hi everyone. So today I'll be talking about how we can integrate OCI logs with Grafana, and mainly we will be focusing on Postgres logs. So the first thing we need to do is add a few policies. So I have added 3 policies here for our dynamic group in our root compartment so that we can read all the logs in our tenancy. Then we need to create an instance where we need to install Grafana and also OCI Logs plugin. So here, this is my instance where I have installed both Grafana and also the OCI Logs plugin. After that, we need to enable service logs for Postgres using this button. And here, you can see that I have added this log named PSQL log with the category as Postgres database logs and the service as PostgreSQL. So now let me access my Grafana UI using my VM instance. So here, this is how the Grafana UI looks like. And the first thing we need to do is add a few plugins for our OCI logs and also OCI metrics. So here we can do that by using this button to uninstall or install. After that, we need to create a connection for our plugins which we have added. So here you can see I have added 2 data sources, which is for OCI logs and also for OCI metrics. So we can do that by clicking on this button and adding which data source we need to add and adding the configurations. So this is already done. So let me just show you how it looks like. So here we need to add our connection details, which would be the region, user, tenancy, fingerprint, and the private key. And the same is done for metrics. So now let's explore our data. So for our OCI metrics data source, let's give it a region, a compartment, a namespace, and for this, I'm going to check OCI Postgres. And we can see different kinds of metrics. It could be read IOPS, latency, memory utilization. So for this, let me click on read IOPS, and we can also change the aggregation and also the interval. So it could be 1 minute, 5 minutes, whatever you need. And that can also be changed from here. So here we get a graph with the read IOPS metrics. And this graph can also be added to a dashboard by using this button and adding it to the dashboard. So another thing we can do is also use SQL-like queries from our OCI logs data source itself. So let me add a region here. And let me add this query. Yeah. So here you can see that we get a table and it's searching from our Postgres SQL logs. And we get the source, timestamp, type, data. And this also can be added to our dashboard using the add button. So the final thing we can do is create a few dashboards. So I've created a Postgres dashboard here. And you can see that the graphs such as memory utilization, CPU utilization, read latency, throughput, and IOPS and write throughput are from the OCI metrics. And this can also be added from the Explore button, or even here, you can add it from here. And also what we can do is we can, for example, here, this table, I have basically queried it from the OCI logs data source. So let me click on edit. And here you can see that the data source is OCI logs data source. And I've added this query where it searches in the Postgres SQL logs if the SQL state code is not equal to 5 zeros. So what this query does is that it outputs data where there might be an error or a warning. So that is the table that we get here. So you can see that it gives out the error messages which we get to. So finally, what we can do is add a few transformations to the table. So here what I have done is I have added 2 transformations. So the first transformation is extracting fields. So I have a source called the data source. And here you can see that the data field is in the format of is in the JSON format. So I wanted to separate it into different columns. So that is done by using this transformation. So you can see that in this table now, I have the application name as a separate column, backend type, command type, level, message, and that can be done using this transformation. And finally, I have also organized the fields so that I can hide a few columns that I wouldn't need or even rearrange them according to how I would like. So this is how we can create Postgres dashboards for Postgres logs. And yeah, thank you for watching.